I'm Matt with Meat Church. Let's smoke this delicious pork belly. Well, welcome back to the show. Excited to cook some pork belly for you guys today. This is something that we've cooked a ton of on this channel. If you guys have been in the Meat Church congregation for a long time, then you know that we were one of the first people to be known for pork belly burn-ins. We've got different ways we've done that on this channel. Standard pork belly burn-ins. My buddy Travis Heim did a complete tell-all in our guest pitmaster series on how to make his famous bacon burn-ins. It was the first tell-all video he ever did. My buddy Dane Weaver of Dane's Craft Barbecue in Aledo, Texas, also came and did a video on pork belly that he calls bacon brisket, where it was really prepared like a brisket. All great videos. I'll put all those links down below in the description. This is gonna follow kind of what Dane did, with a little bit different. So instead of cubing this up, we're gonna cook it in large pieces. So I am gonna trim it down. I'll explain that. And then you can kind of season what you want. I'll tell you why we're doing what we're doing, but it's a fairly short cook, and I've never found anybody that doesn't love it. And you can do a ton of different things with it. You can make tacos, you can slice it and eat it like you would a brisket. You can do all sorts of things. So let's jump in. If you don't know what pork belly is, by the way, this is the meat that if you put it in a cure for a week, would magically turn into bacon. So you know that it's delicious. This is half of a slab of pork belly. I like to buy this size because I can get it at my local grocery store. I buy it at our H-E-B. It's skinless, even though it does have fat on it. This is a skinless belly. This was $23. So as far as barbecue cuts go, fairly inexpensive and will feed a pretty good crowd. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start out with a little bit of knife work. These bellies can be pretty uneven, so it might kind of look even on camera, but if you really press it down, over here where the ribs were, it's a little thicker. What I like to do is cut it down into a couple manageable pieces. And the primary reason that you want to do that is if you leave this is half or even whole, if you leave it whole or like it was, then you have to cook this entire piece to one temperature. If you cut them down, you can cut them down further if you want. This will give you the ability to kind of cook them to your desired temperature on each side. And you can do a little bit of trim. You can lay them down. If you want them to cook real even, you could just season it and cook it like this, by the way. But I'm gonna press it down and kind of see where the unevenness is, a little bit hanging off here. I'm gonna shave that off. And then I just like to do just a little trim here. This is good meat, so you don't have to cut it, but if you want it to be totally even, this is what I'm gonna do. And then I like to kind of look at both sides of it. I'm gonna round out my edges a little bit. I don't like to leave edges on meat. They kind of get a little too crisp. I like little round edges. And as Dane says, this is kind of style points, but do what you want. And then what I'm going to do on the back, this is something I like to do. Really thick fat on the back. I'm going to score it by taking sharp knife and just coming diagonally. I'm not applying very much pressure here. Coming across the fat, and I'll demonstrate this. I'll show you just what kind of split open. So this serves two purposes. Number one, as barbecue cooks, the fat will cinch up. If you don't score it, then what'll happen is this meat will kind of pucker or curl up. And I'm gonna turn this and go right across the opposite direction, so I'm making a diamond pattern. Now this fat won't be able to kind of pucker up, and I'll demonstrate that. The second thing is that you can get a bunch of seasoning down in these cracks, which gives you more surface area for the rub. So just nice, pretty little diamond patterns, just like that. If you didn't do that, when you cook this, this meat can effectively kind of cup like that. So cutting it like that will allow it to remain flat. So I'm gonna do the same over here, but for time's sake, I'm gonna talk about seasoning, and then I'm gonna jump on my other part. So when you season, a lot of options in the Meat Church arsenal for flavor profiles. I love the Gospel. This is our all-purpose rub. It's known as the best color in barbecue, and I'll explain why. I'm gonna start back here on the fat side. You can go very liberal with this seasoning on here. Pork belly is hard to over-season. Be sure to kind of pick it up and work into the cracks here. So this is, I consider it a Southwestern all-purpose. Very, very popular. Other good choices if you're a meat church person would be our honey hog, our holy gospel, our Texas sugar, our honey bacon. Those flavors go really nicely, but you know, use your favorite seasoning, whatever you want. Maybe you make your own seasoning, just like me. I make my own seasoning. I just put it in a bottle, sell it to you. All our stuff's at meatchurch.com. I'm wearing new hat, new shirt from our spring collection. We're known for our merch. Got a ton of new stuff out. You guys can check that out. Obviously, links below for that. But I'm going to kind of pat this in, and then what I want to do is I want to let it sit in it here. So as the seasoning pulls the moisture out of the meat, it'll get nice and wet. So when this meat is completely wet, within 15 minutes, I'm ready to put it on. If you wanted to do this like the day before you're cooking it and put it in your fridge, that's fine too. So I'm going to let that sit while I work on this other piece, and then when we come back, we'll talk cooking. Well, the seasoning's adhered. It's been probably just over 10 minutes. You can see this is soaking wet, honestly, at this point. And to illustrate my point about the gospel, the best color in barbecue, super bright red. Why does that matter? I mean, it just delivers a very appetizing end result. You know, you eat with your eyes first. And so me creating this rub to be this bright red was very intentional. Well, let's talk about cooking. Today, I'm rocking a Traeger Timberline XL at 250 degrees. Cook on what you got or what you like. I'm pretty excited. Baseball season just started, and I'm running the brand new Traeger Louisville Slugger pellets, which are made with maple, the same thing their bats are made with. So I thought that would be kind of fun. Maple is a great flavor to pair with pork. Wood is the first ingredient in any of your cooks, so you should pair things accordingly. People choose, you know, wood and pellets based on where they grew up or what they like. Here we use a lot of post oak in Texas, but I thought maple would be great and delicious with this pork, so that's what we're using. And as far as temperature goes, you know, 250, I call it my universal smoking temp. You can go lower, you can go higher if you want, and it'd be okay. I've done pork belly a little bit higher, but I'm just gonna go middle of the road. And these half-sized pieces are gonna be between, you know, 5 and 6 hours of that, so it depends how thick, how big. So let's get these on. I like to put things on the second shelf, and the only thing I'll do while it's cooking is I'll spritz with cider vinegar anytime it starts to look dry. I'm shooting for 195 internal temperature, so much like cooking a brisket, I'm gonna pull this a little less of an internal temperature. Briskets are done, to me, just over 200. I'm gonna go in the 190s because I want to be able to slice this. I also like pulled pork belly. If I was going for that, then in that case, I would take this probably between 205 and 210 so it could really pull. But I want the consistency to be where I can slice it because I'm gonna serve this in a delicious taco. So when we get near 195, we'll see you back then. Well, we've been cooking the pork belly for about 5 hours. We're near 190 degrees, and so I want to sauce near the end of this cook. And so this is optional. This is also an opportunity for you guys to kind of take this flavor profile in the direction that you want. So depending on the flavors you want, you could go no sauce, or you could choose a variety of sauces. I'm going with my friend Justin's Bachon's Japanese BBQ Sauce. Love Asian flavors, love this sauce, pairs beautifully, obviously, with pork belly. So for the last, 10, 15 minutes of this cook, I'm going to just kind of squirt a glaze all over it, let it tack up. If you want to do it a couple times, however much you want, pretty easy. Oh, man, those look absolutely delicious, and they smell even better. Obviously, very, very hot. Nearly 200 degrees. It's going to take quite a while to cool off, but we're going to let these come down. I like to slice around 140, but in the meantime, I'm going to go get some other stuff to pair with this. I'm going to make tacos out of this, so I'll let these cool, get that stuff, and then we'll see how we did. Pork belly's cooled down. Went and got myself something to drink. So I'm going to make a few slices here. And then we're going to talk about options of things that you can do with this pork belly. Ooh, smells delicious. Beautiful smoke. Man, looks super good. I'm gonna make myself a little drink here. Bourbon pairs perfectly with barbecue, particularly smoked pork. This is a bottle, Rock Hill Farms, one of my favorite. One of our customers, Mr. Martin Hatfield from Kentucky, of the original Hatfields, so don't mess with him, gifted me this bottle at a barbecue school. If you ever come to one of my barbecue schools and want to bring me bourbon, I won't be mad at it. And it just so happens to be it's my favorite, so teacher's pet. Well, that's going to be good. But let's give this pork belly a shot before we make something with it. Super tender. Man, smoky. Just like subtle. You know, the barbecue sauce isn't overpowering. We let it tack up on there. That flavor profile with the all-purpose barbecue rub, but the flavor profile with the bachans on it is, I think it's perfect with pork belly. Just like works, like it's honestly, it's like so good. You can put any barbecue sauce you like, but that to me is delicious. Very tender. As I said, you can just kind of pull it right apart. Not a lot of people slice pork belly. A lot of people do pork belly burn-ins, so I'm a big fan of that. But if you wanted to elevate it and make it as part of something, something that I've seen done quite a few times at food and wine festivals, get yourself a flour tortilla, I would recommend for all of this. And then I dress it up with, so I pickled some red onions this morning. This recipe's below on meatchurch.com. Pickling red onions, super easy. And it's very popular in Texas barbecue. If you go to a Texas barbecue joint, you're going to get pickled red onions and you know, pickles and white bread and things like that. So it works, but it definitely works on a taco like this. This is something my buddy Dane Weaver did as well. I'm going to do a little cotija cheese, and then I like cilantro. For those of you that don't, I'm sorry, but I like it. Make it what you want. And if you wanted to drizzle more sauce in there, I wouldn't be mad at that either. It's a preference thing. Do whatever you want. Nobody can tell you what tastes good to you. Look at that. You know that's going to be good. Gotta get some onions in there. That's freaking delicious. So good. For 23 bucks, feed your whole family off this. I'm a big fan. Huge fan. Let me wash it down. Even more delicious. Well, that was a winner. That was crazy easy. Recipe at meatchurch.com. Like I always say, like and subscribe. That is what enables us to continue to bring these free weekly how-to videos to you guys. We'll see y'all next week.